Week long on the One Show, Ruth Goodman has been teaching us the history of underwear.
Yes, tonight she's looking at, Joe?
Bras.
Bras. Underwired, crisscrossed, cone-shaped, strapless, halter necks, push-ups, push-outs, maxis, minimisers and many more. They can be the most intricate of all underwear to make, and they come in 77 different sizes.
So it's hard to believe that 100 years ago, the choice came down to this.
Bras grew from a trend at the turn of the century for bodices and bust improvers, worn over the top of a corset.
This is a real gem from the 1890s, a bust improver. The lemon cup, it's called. And you can see it's to make you much more busty. It's got these little strips of whalebone, and if you look inside, look! For many a flat-chested girl, this would have been a godsend.
There's some dispute as to exactly when the bust improver became the bra and who was responsible. The name bra came about when advertisements for various bust improvers started to appear using the French term brassiere, derived from an old French word for arm protector. It entered the Oxford English Dictionary in 1911. But the first official bra came 3 years later, patented in 1914 by an American called Corsets Crosby. She claimed to have invented it when she instructed her maid to take a set of handkerchiefs, sew them together and add ribbons. So, the bra with its 2 separate cups, its shoulder straps to support, had been born.
This is a 1930s bra, and it's very reminiscent of the first bra, the Corsets Crosby style of bra. So it's effectively a 2-piece cup, just lightweight fabric, and attached with ribbon. So when you would have got it home, you would have actually adjusted these straps to suit you. It's very much a lightweight garment, giving you a little bit of support.
More support came 2 decades later, the 1950s, when everyone needed a bit of a lift.
In 1926, when we launched our very first bra, there was 1 size available. It wasn't until the 1950s that we actually introduced 3 sizes to really meet the changing shape of the nation. The influence came from Hollywood. If you think about those fabulous celebrities such as Jane Russell, it was all about celebrating the curves. So a very curvaceous cleavage, a very nipped-in waist and a very womanly figure was the silhouette to have. In the 1950s, there were 2 key technical advances which really drove the revolution of bras. The first one was that wires were becoming very mainstream and mass market. The second one was very much about the stitching and the construction techniques. So if you think about those very pointy, conical bra shapes, they were achieved by clever cutting and lots of intricate stitching.
Thanks to Madonna, the conical bras had a recent revival, but there's one style of bra that has stayed in the shops non-stop for more than 50 years.
And it's kind of really the mother of all modern bras, if you consider things we now take for granted, like fully adjustable straps that are elasticated to the hook and eye. You think that that would date back to the original bra, but they haven't. It's really been from the late 50s and the early 60s that we get what we know as the hook and eyes today.
Lingerie companies have been making bras out of foam, rubber and plastics, using padding, stitching and other clever shaping devices to get the perfect bra to fit our often imperfect shape. For 100 years, the bra has never been far from our hearts, apart from maybe a small blip.
Did they burn the bra? Well, in the 1960s, a rubbish bin was filled with those women's torture instruments, the high-heeled shoe, the bra, and indeed the girdle. Apparently, nothing was actually set on fire, which in the case of the girdle was rather a shame. But more about that next time.
Oh, yeah. We were talking earlier, Joe and I, actually. How would 1 size work, isn't it?
I know, just have a really tiny queue of women of that size, and the rest would be, well...
Yeah.
Hesitate to say flapping about somewhere in the back.
Well, Addy, the last time you were here, we were talking about swimming trunks, so sorry to put you through a bra.
I haven't got the chest for the bras. So,
no,
yeah.
but you are here because there's been some, well, pretty big Olympic news today.
Yep, big Olympic news. LOCOG, the organising committee for the Games, have announced the
Go for it. Where was it?
Say hello to Virgin Media Player. Now you can access the best of Virgin TV online or on your mobile. If you're an XL TV customer, then simply head to virginmedia.com/player and get watching for free. You can watch